Okay, what is up, everybody, and welcome to Smark, guys. Returning from a 2-week hiatus. Today is Saturday, September 7th, 2013. I am Darkside Phil, and with me, as always, the great John Rambo.
Up and down. Give it an up and down look. There we go. Take your time.
There you go.
Enjoy it.
Celebrating 100 episodes of his popular podcast, The Show.
Yes.
Coming on a nice positive week this week.
Yeah, it was a good week. Good week here.
And not for wrestling, but for other stuff. And so what we're going to do, we're going to recap everything that happened in wrestling over the past 2 weeks, although quite honestly, there's really not a lot to recap. Like, well, I could read you last week's Raw and this week's Raw.
We kind of knew that, though.
You know?
I think the last Smart guys, we told everybody it's going to be a slow build, because this is a storyline that's going to take place over the course of several months, probably, right. And they're dragging it out, and they don't really have a lot of ideas for it, so
right.
It's here we are. You know,
this is basically it's basically the John Cena filler time. You know.
Yeah, I mean the last several forever has been John Cena has been the storyline.
Right.
What's the storyline? John Cena fights this guy. John Cena does this or that. John Cena is the storyline.
Right.
So it seems to me like they realize he's going away for a while.
Right.
It's like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? Well, let's do something that we did before that worked for us in the past, and let's do that. And now we have a storyline that's very similar to a couple different ones from the past. This power struggle.
Great.
And unfortunately, the show's incredibly dominated by the McMahons, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
People are saying it looks a little blurry. I can see if I can fix it.
Looks a little blurry.
It does look a little blurry. Maybe the focus is off slightly. That's okay. Go ahead, take it. Go right with it, John.
Okay, so it's for me personally, like, I don't even want to watch this. And I understand what they're trying to do. They're building the Daniel Bryan thing. They feel like it's going to be a bigger moment. But anytime they ever try to do this in the history, if you follow your wrestling history, it's never worked. You know, Daniel Bryan had the perfect match. He had the perfect moment defeating the perfect guy. And there's no greater evil than John Cena. And he did it. He had the moment.
Right.
But instead they took it away. They go, we're gonna make it bigger. But it never works. It never really works that way. You have to let things be what they are. And what we have now is just something, for me personally, it's just very boring.
Yeah.
Because you go back to year 2000, that was a long time ago. It's quite some time ago.
Right.
And the biggest, the storyline then, is Triple H and Stephanie dominating everyone on the roster. And I didn't really enjoy it then, and 13 years later, I don't really want to see it again.
It's the same exact thing. It's rehashed. We know it's a time killer, and literally every week you're seeing even the same events are happening. So let's just give you a general recap, all right, for those who maybe aren't up to speed on the whole situation. Daniel Bryan beats John Cena, wins the WWE title. Triple H pedigrees him, screws him over. Randy Orton cashes in Money in the Bank, becomes the champion. So the plotline every week since then has literally been Randy Orton is the cherry-picked person who the McMahons want to be the champion. He's the face of the WWE. Daniel Bryan opposes this, says that no, anyone should be able to be WWE champion, not who you just cherry-pick to be like the golden boy. So every week he comes out, he opposes them, they put him in some kind of a match, something happens, he gets screwed over and beaten the hell out, and that's every single week for the past 3 weeks.
Not only that, there's several fundamental problems with the storyline. You could go back to when Triple H was the GM of Raw, and he was doing these terrible things, and then they were able to replace him. They had a strike, walk out, and they were able to replace him.
Well, just a year ago this happened, right? Now it's like all that, not anymore. Now he's not the GM anymore, but he still is basically the GM.
Well, he can do whatever he wants.
And, no power, no vote of confidence, nothing. All this stuff that happened last year, completely written off. Now Triple H is completely dominating in power. And
I feel like, I don't feel like it really works with Randy Orton as the guy. Like, it could have, anyone else would have been better, The fact that Randy Orton, who was basically like a god there, who's won the title so many times on his own,
right?
Suddenly he needs to, he needs the help of the corporation guys.
Stupid.
Like, where did this come from?
Stupid.
And it's not even that. It's like he's not the main guy at all. Triple H will tell him when he can attack and go out.
Right.
He's calling all the shots. Like, why does he need to do this?
In addition to that, now the Shield has become literally like the errand boys of the McMahons.
Right.
Completely going against what they were, what their original plot line was, their philosophy that they're like these rogue guys who just do stuff because of what they feel is just. Now it's like they're just fucking guns for hire.
The Shield never had a purpose. If you look at their entire history.
Right.
They never had any purpose whatsoever. They would come out, they would attack certain people, you're like, oh, this is going to lead to something.
Right.
This is like part of a bigger thing.
And then it wouldn't.
But it just doesn't. They would come out, they'd attack Ryback. Now they're friends with him, by the way. They'd come out and attack this guy, that guy. They would attack Randy Orton. Now he's friends with them too, but they never had it on purpose at all. And now they don't even speak.
Right.
They don't have. They're just tools.
No mic time. They're just out there to means to an end, for whatever reason.
Right. So I think what some people are gonna say, oh, this is gonna be better for Daniel Bryan because he's gonna win the title. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be bigger. But you don't know that for sure. First of all.
Right.
He might be buried before we get to that point. And you don't know if that's gonna happen. And getting to that process is boring. It's a boring show to watch.
Right, it is. It's the same shit. The whole show is literally the same stuff with maybe one or two, different changes here or there.
The only way this is going to work is if Triple H actually sells. And he never does. He never did. Like when Vince did it with Austin, he would show fear. One time he literally shit himself. He pissed himself. I don't think he literally did, but that's what they tried to put out there. Triple H comes out here and he's like a god.
Right.
He's telling everyone what to do. He's unstoppable. He acts like he's the champion. So the only way for this to actually work, he needs to be beaten. He needs to sell for Daniel Bryan. Is that going to happen? He's never done it before.
Never done it before, right.
He needs to actually lay down for him. He needs to have a match.
Right.
And Daniel Bryan needs to beat the shit out of him. Because I can see them having a match, and it's going to be one of those typical Triple H. If Triple H ever loses, it's like he dominates the whole match, and then the guy gets lucky or something.
Right.
Like the guy hits him with everything. Triple H keeps coming back, but then in the end, he'll something will go awry.
Right.
So it's not like he actually lost.
And speaking of which, because that's a very pertinent thing to say, is the past few weeks they have now tried to incorporate other people into this Daniel Bryan storyline, almost as if we know Daniel Bryan can't do it by himself, so let's try to get other people involved. So maybe they'll get involved in matches coming up. So one of the major things, which is actually how Raw started this week, is Big Show. They've turned him into a crying ninny.
Well, that's
basically.
what he was with John Laurinaitis.
Right.
We already saw this.
We saw this a year ago.
The same thing where he has no money, he has to listen to them, And the ironclad contract thing, I don't even understand that, because to me that's you have a contract that you can't be fired from, but apparently he can be. I don't know what's going on.
So the whole thing is that basically Triple H, Stephanie, they're all forcing Big Show to do things he doesn't want to do. Okay. Last week they forced him to just sit idly by while Daniel Bryan was being attacked in the ring.
They made everyone do that, and again, you cut the balls off everybody. What kind of I never heard of this ever in all my years watching wrestling. What kind of a babyface hero wrestler will not stop something terrible right in front of them because they're afraid of the management firing them? I've never heard of any of this ever happening before.
Well, that's because John Cena's not there. That's why.
But he would do it. He would do it.
He would immediately hit the ring, because he's the fucking the Jesus Christ character of the WWE. He'll sacrifice himself for everyone else.
I've been watching over 20 years basically. I've never heard of a babyface wrestler. I will not help. Right in front of them.
Right in front of them.
RVD, really?
Yep.
RVD, fucking Dolph Ziggler.
I'm too old. Forget it.
I'm too high. I can't.
Too high.
I can't do it. It's insanity, man. And there's so much Triple H and Stephanie on the TV. I mean, it's just.
Yes.
They did it well because I told them how to do it. They could be in power, but just don't be all over the show. Have Orton come out. Have the Shield come out and talk.
Right.
Other guys.
Nope.
Have them in the back a little bit.
They must be on the show. Every moment. They must be on it. They're the whole show. They dominate the show.
Because John Cena's not there, so the next guy in line, Triple H is.
Right. So, Raw opens up with, guess who? Okay. So, Triple H is out there talking about Daniel Bryan, blah, blah, blah. Talking about Big Show, how Big Show was forced to sit idly by and not do anything on SmackDown the week before when Daniel Bryan got attacked. And how basically he kind of bullied him, blah, blah, blah. So, basically it's announced that the main event of the night is going to be Big Show against Daniel Bryan.
And he's like, don't make me do this.
Right.
But it's just a match.
It's just a match.
Those guys have matches that don't always, that actually like each other sometimes have matches. Right? Like it's almost like they're saying Daniel Bryan is such shit compared to me. Like, I'm going to kill him.
Right, I'll murder him.
Don't make me kill him.
Don't make me kill him in
this
match.
He's nothing. He's absolutely nothing.
He has no chance.
So don't make me beat the shit out of him. I don't want to. It's just another match.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so the first match of the night is The Miz versus Fandango. The Miz beats him clean.
Fandango got a broken nose.
And he broke Fandango's nose. Yes, he did. There was blood gushing everywhere, and they had to cut off TV so that he could clean up his nose. The ref cleaned up his nose. There's a gimmick that fucking went nowhere.
Fandango.
My God, he was white hot. Everyone was like, "Wow, he's cool." Everyone was doing the fandangoing. Now it's like forced. He comes out and they're like,
Bruce Clay was
the crowd is fandangoing, and they should cut to like one kid. He's like, "Huh? Oh, like no, you know, it's not like it's big like it was anymore."
Yeah. Well, that was still a lot of other stuff.
And so basically, Fandango gets beaten clean, squashed, whatever you want to call it. Ryback has a match with Dolph Ziggler. Okay, now this is weird. Because Dolph Ziggler, much like Big Show, is being punished by the McMahons for insubordination for speaking out against Triple H several weeks ago on Twitter. And so this week he's going to have a match with Ryback. But what ends up happening is they didn't tell him that. They said it's a mystery opponent. Go out there and face him. So he goes out to the ring, and all of a sudden Dean Ambrose attacks him from behind, beats the shit out of him. Then Ryback comes out and destroys him, squash. So it's basically another instance of them taking one of the faces, completely destroying him, for the sake of showing the McMahons have so much power.
Well, yeah. Because they're the best. They're amazing.
They had this segment with Stephanie McMahon going out to talk to Big Show, because Big Show refused to have the match with Daniel Bryan.
She's just absolutely excellent, very entertaining. She always has been.
Terrible. She said, "Oh, don't you remember?
An intriguing character.
I'm still the 12-year-old little girl who
that doesn't make any sense.
Used to be a father figure too.
What the fuck?
And I'm here to tell you that you need to do this match, Big Show. Do what's in your best interest, because if you don't, you'll be found in violation of your ironclad contract for not performing."
She didn't know him when she was 12 years old.
You've had all kinds of financial problems, and you need to be able to do. The economy was bad. You made bad investments. It was so funny.
Oh, it was what was it? A store or something? A strip mall?
Yeah, a strip mall. The strip mall closed, and the market flipped on its head. And you lost all your money.
But she wasn't. She didn't know him when she was 12. I think they're trying to make Andre the Giant and the Big Show the same guy.
Yeah. Yep.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's kind of
That's the same guy in the storyline.
Yes.
What?
It's Andre the Giant.
When she was 12, he was like not even in WCW yet. And then he was in WCW for a long time, and then he got there when... He didn't get there until she was on the show. 13 years ago, when they were doing the same storyline. She was in Power Triple H.
She was 12 years old then.
No, she wasn't.
I don't know.
What the hell is that?
I know, that angle made no sense. When she said that, you're like, what? Like, 12 years old?
The whole thing is just like... And here's the problem like I have with this company. Like, how do you watch it?
Yeah.
When you... The whole thing is like, we're entertainment, we write stories... Then they go, forget about this. This never happened. And this whole storyline you're watching now, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after it's over, they'll act like it never happened.
Right, yep.
Triple H will be a face.
Oh,
He's always been a hero to everybody.
The great face Triple H.
Orton will be, he'll be face too. I mean, who knows? So it's like, what's the point?
I don't know. It's very odd.
It's insanity.
It's a bad angle. So basically, Stephanie convinces Big Show to be in this main event match with Daniel Bryan, even though he doesn't want to. And Big Show basically cries. He cries in the ring. Very nice.
Which he's good at doing, I guess. He did it way back with Laurinaitis. He's able to do this.
He's got a wide acting.
So they're like doing it.
He was in Knuckleheads, and he can also cry.
He was in the Water Boy.
The Primetime Players defeat three-man band, so the Primetime Players are still kind of getting a push, somewhat, and we'll talk about that later on, because it was actually, I believe it was on a Main Event this week that they actually got de-pushed, but we'll talk about that.
Main Event?
Yeah.
That counts?
It was. I guess it doesn't. But I guarantee you.
I guess it does.
I guarantee you the match that they had on Main Event will happen on Raw next week. I guarantee you.
That's what I mean. It never happened, really.
I guess I should bring it up now because I might forget. So it was the Wyatt family had a match with the Primetime Players, and they beat them.
Yeah.
And it was like, and they even announced, they were like, "Well, that's the end of their streak."
Well, the Wyatt family's getting more of a push than they are.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Right. Randy Orton has a singles match with Cody Rhodes. Now, this is a weird one, okay?
This might actually be good.
So, Cody Rhodes is in the back.
Yeah.
And he walks up to Orton and Triple H, and he's like, with all due respect, Randy, I know you're not afraid of Daniel Bryan. I know you can beat him. And Triple H, I know that you know that this match with Daniel Bryan between Randy Orton is best for business, so I don't know why you keep trying to hurt, Daniel Bryan and basically end the match, screw the match over. And so, Triple H says, well, I know that you're, I don't agree. I know that you're speaking up probably because you're very emotionally involved with things going on right now. You're getting married later this week. And I guess that's true. Later this week, Cody Rhodes really is getting married in real life. Which makes me wonder, a couple months ago when they were doing that plot line where he was sweet on Caitlyn, what they were thinking. But,
that didn't happen.
But, so he says, I'm going to give you a reward. I'm going to give you a match tonight with Randy Orton. And Cody Rhodes is like, wow, that's great. Thank you. I love a high-profile match like that. And he goes, and by the way, if you don't win the match, you're fired. And everyone's like, huh? So they have this match. The match is a very good match. Cody Rhodes is a good wrestler. We know that. You know, we've seen him. He's been around the block at this point. Has a really good match with Randy Orton. Turns out Randy Orton wins the match clean with an RKO.
And Cody had a good promo later on. We were talking about the Rhodes family always getting screwed.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a good. I thought it was, it's good.
Yeah, it says, his dad was what was it? Something AWA champion.
NWA champion.
And then he comes to WWE and they dress him up in fucking polka dots, make him look like an idiot.
With everybody.
You know.
Harley Race was the friggin' king. They did out there, all those guys.
Yes.
Turn them all to clowns.
So basically, Cody Rhodes gets fired, leaves, and cuts a really good promo, leaves, and we don't know what's going to happen with him now. I'm assuming he was really taking time off anyway for his wedding,
Maybe.
So that's probably what they did.
It's a good way to... they also were pushing him on the website this week. They had different articles with, I think they had Dustin and Dusty actually giving quotes and things, so... we'll see. I mean, with him, it's always like, oh, here comes his push, but then it never does. So
right.
Maybe this is another chance.
So then there was CM Punk comes out and addresses Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel about the match they're going to have at No Surrender. No Surrender. At Night of Champions next week. They
don't want to be on that show.
They don't want to be on No Surrender.
They don't want to be on that one.
Basically, he says, Paul, you broke my heart. Next week, I'll break your face. It was pretty much the same promo he's cut
it's
twice.
It's well done, Heyman does the role that the Triple H. That's what Triple H should be doing, because the way he does it, Triple H acts like he's God and stuff,
Right.
The way that Paul Heyman does, the way that Vince McMahon did it back then, was they act like they're God, but they're not. And that's what makes you hate them, because that guy's not really that good. He's just,
Right.
Right? They're just this cocky. Why is this guy so cocky and acting like that? He can't back, But Triple H is like, I'm God. I'm the champion here.
The Divas. I guess we should explain what's going on with the Divas situation, because honestly, if you want my opinion, this week the hottest thing was the Divas.
The hottest thing?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I don't just mean physically attractive. I mean, the best plot line this week was the Divas. So last week, which we didn't talk about because we didn't do Smark guys last week, AJ Lee came out during a match of the women who were on Total Diva. So it was like the Funkadactyls against, Brie Bella and, just the heelish divas that are on the show. And she comes out, and she basically said, listen, you divas think you're hot shit right now because you got this stupid show on E that nobody cares about. And the only reason...
the show's like the biggest thing ever. The ratings go up every week.
Oh, my God.
It's huge.
She goes, the only reason you divas are even on the show is either because you're pretty, because you're models, because you're in the business, like you're the Neidhart family. You had everything handed to you. You're not really pure wrestlers. You shouldn't be getting the attention you're getting, and I'm better than all of you even on my worst day.
Natalia's better than her.
True. So she says this. Everyone's like, oh, people were drawing similarities to the CM Punk pipe bomb from years ago that she just told off the whole Divas division, okay? So this week, there's going to be a #1 contenders match for the Divas Championship, and who's in the match? It's Natalya, Brie Bella, and Naomi. Again, 3 girls from Total Divas. So as they're having the match, AJ Lee comes out and just attacks all of them and says, no, this is nonsense. None of you deserve a title shot against me because none of you have really even been wrestling seriously. Just because you're on a stupid reality show, you shouldn't get a title shot. So I basically made it a no contest by attacking them during the match, okay? So then it was announced that it's going to be a fatal 4-way match for the Divas Championship at Night of Champions next week. I don't know how that's going to work because I'm going to be honest with Brie.
It'll be 6 minutes.
Brie and Naomi, don't get me wrong, Naomi can do some stuff, but can they really, you know what I mean, in a match like that? I don't know how that's going to go. I'm kind of wary about that match.
It's going to end with one of them beating AJ.
That's going to be really stupid.
Because people are going, oh, this is great with AJ, but it's going to be her losing to one of the Bellas for the title.
Oh, my God.
That's what's going to be the outcome.
That'll be terrible.
Don't you realize that? Don't you see that coming?
And then on Total Divas next season, they can have the title. And
she's going to be on it, too. She's going to be on it.
All right, so then they have Rob Van Dam against Damian Sandow.
Oh, I got to talk about the RVD Alberto thing from the week before. I'm watching it was RVD versus Alberto, and if RVD wins, then he becomes
the number one contender. Yes.
So I'm watching it, I'm like, this is a good match. I'm really enjoying the match. I was actually talking to Sturmgeist at the time while we were watching it. I go, this is a really good match. You put it on. I haven't put it on. And then the finish of the match comes, which is the thing they do all the time. Ricardo goes up on the announce table, starts doing the thumbs.
Yeah.
And then Del Rio's so incredibly distracted, but he just stares at it for like 5 minutes, and RVD rolls him up, and then he gets to the rookie title shot. It's such a typical like pay by numbers thing they always do. First of all, the roll up finish.
Yep.
The guy gets distracted. A guy comes out from the entranceway or a video plays or something, and he's so completely blown away by this. And the other thing is the way that they build their matches, their title matches, over and over again. The champion loses to the guy in a non-title match.
Yep.
And every time they have a non-title match, the challenger will win.
Yes.
But when they have the actual match, the champion wins. What a brilliant storyline this is. Hey, did we see it last month with Christian? And the same exact thing fucking
Who's
happened?
Christian?
The same thing happened last month with Christian.
Who's Christian?
They do it over and over
I haven't
again.
seen him in a month. Who's Christian?
Whatever champion's going to have a match. Whatever champion has a... How do we build this championship match? Let's have the challenger beat
Isn't
him.
this exactly...
non-title matches over and over again.
Isn't this exactly what we said a month ago? Christian will lose, and then he'll be a jobber or off TV again. And look, where has Christian been? He hasn't even had a match in like 3 weeks.
Well, I think he had a concussion or something. But again, it's the same. No matter what title it is, it's the same storyline where the champion will lose non-title matches to the dude.
So, Rob Van Dam is the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. He has a singles match with Damian Sandow. He wins. Damian Sandow is now the whipping boy of the WWE because he has that money in the bank.
It's the same thing I spoke about.
They think that he's protected because he has the Money in the Bank contract.
It's insanity.
So he'll win every match. He'll lose every match.
It's complete insanity.
He hasn't won a match.
Wouldn't it be better?
Since he won the briefcase.
Maybe disagree with you. Wouldn't it be better RVD versus any heel that they have in a really good match? The winner becomes #1 contender, and it has a real finish, not a guy standing on a fucking ramp or whatever. Wouldn't that be better?
Maybe. I think so.
Wade Barrett, throw him in. RVD Wade Barrett have a great 10-minute match. 12 minutes.
I think so.
And RVD pulls it out in the end. They both look great in the end.
Right.
Wouldn't that be better? And he's #1 contender now. Isn't that better?
Okay. So...
Can't take it.
The final match of the night, Daniel Bryan against Big Show. Basically, Big Show doesn't want to wrestle Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's like, no, you will kill him. You will fight me. How dare you? Daniel Bryan attacks him until Big Show gets pissed. So then they have a semi-okay match. And then, of course, during the match, Triple H and The Shield come out. They interfere. They beat the shit out of Daniel Bryan. Big Show wants to leave. Triple H says, no, you must come back to the ring and knock out punch.
No, Stephanie comes back out. There wasn't enough of her yet.
Right.
So she comes back out and says, no, you must do this.
You must knock out punch.
And then he cries like
Daniel Bryan.
Like he killed someone.
Right. And he does. He knockout punches him, cries, and that's the end of the show.
That's the end of the show.
Crying giant men.
And, it's, I think when people look back at wrestling from the last, several years, last decade, whatever you want to say.
Right.
And wherever state it's going to be in the future, hopefully it's still around. But people are going to look back and go, it sucked because of the people in charge of the companies. On one side, you got Dixie Carter, Hogan, and Bischoff. People that are more about making money for themselves and putting themselves over than anyone else. And on the other side, the McMahons, Triple H, throw him in there. The people that want to put themselves over more than anything else. And that's the problem with all the shows over and over again.
It's what's best for business, John.
And, what's best, what can we do? John Cena's like, I'll be on the show, and I'll take over. And not have these other guys, not have these cool new characters, the Wyatts. Or,
it's what's best for business. I'm just going to keep saying it that way.
Any of this other stuff you have going on, And that's the sad part about it.
I know what's best for business. Okay.
Right.
So, SmackDown opens up with, guess who?
I don't know.
Triple H comes out to the ring and has an open forum with the WWE superstars. Has them all standing on the ramp. And he says, listen, I've been hearing that there's been some dissension. Some people are not feeling secure, especially what happened with Cody Rhodes on Monday. You have to understand that was a legitimate decision. He disrespected me, and disrespecting me is the same as disrespecting the entire WWE as a company. And so for his insubordination, he had to be terminated.
If only I had this power when I was GM, then I could have done the same thing.
So now he says, well, I want to open forum. I want to hear from all of you. I want to hear what you have to say. So some people who are the heels all speak up, like you've got Damian Sandow, you've got Three-Man Band. They're all kissing Triple H's ass. You got Ryback comes up, I'm tired of being called a bully. So stupid. Then you have Kofi Kingston and RVD both speak up, and they both basically say kind of the same thing. Listen, this isn't cool. There's a bad vibe, especially after Cody on Monday. People don't know what they can do, what they can say. We're all afraid of basically getting fired.
Oh, yes.
So Triple H says, listen, don't worry. I think that this has been a very cathartic open forum. I'm going to reward the people who spoke up. So, Kofi, you actually get a match tonight with Curtis Axel. And RVD, you get a match tonight with Randy Orton. Okay?
Yes.
So that's the whole opening segment, basically.
I love how they all act like leaving the WWE is like the worst thing that ever could happen to you in your life.
Yes.
And even Daniel Bryan was saying, like, I don't care if I...
I'll
but
wrestle somewhere
but
else.
on Raw, there was a segment with... Who was it? Him and... who the hell was it? It was someone saying to him, I don't want to see you go back to those shitty-ass arenas and those big... Those,
It was Cena, I think.
Was it? Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, maybe. I remember this.
I think it was Cena.
But everyone else is like, you leave WWE, it's like your life is over. Meanwhile, there's like a lot of people like Chris Jericho and some other people that have, RVD was gone for all these years that basically didn't want to be there anymore. And the Bellas did, last year or whatever, and all the other divas that left, and it's just kind of a funny thing.
Right. So then it's also announced, I forgot, that Ryback will have a rematch against Dolph Ziggler, and this time there shouldn't be any interference from the Shield, supposedly. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So surprisingly enough, the first match of the night was Rob Van Dam against Randy Orton. And this was a good match. As I said, remember when they had that triple threat match a few weeks back? When Christian was in it too and Christian won it?
Yes.
RVD and Orton surprisingly showing lots of chemistry.
They're there for their veterans.
Their move, like I said, remember I told you he did the Rolling Thunder?
Yeah, I saw that match. Yeah.
So he did this again. He just goes for Rolling Thunder, reverses it into a power slam. He actually does the DDT onto the outside, onto the floor on RVD. But RVD gets some good moves in too. He hits the Rolling Thunder, hits everything. But the one thing I don't like about this, every time RVD loses a match, he loses it exactly the same way now. He goes for the 5-star Frog Splash, he misses, and then the other person hits the finisher and wins. That's exactly what happens.
Again, why is he losing a match when he's got the title match coming?
Yeah, and he loses to the champion.
Yeah, but he's in a title picture with WWE. So why is he dropping a match there?
I don't know. I don't get it. It's weird. It's a good match. I mean, I appreciated the wrestling. The guys did a great job, but I don't understand the match.
There's no protection.
Excuse me. Ryback
There's no protection unless you're Triple H or Cena.
Ryback versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, keep in mind that wasn't supposed to be any interference. Dean Ambrose is on commentary for this. And surprisingly enough, Dean Ambrose is really good on the mic, which I think you and I know that.
He's the best in all of wrestling on the mic, but unfortunately he doesn't get to say much on WWE.
He did this week. He was very good on the mic doing the commentary. He was funny. He was poignant. He was interesting, and I think that they should let him do more in that regard. But anyway, so during the match, it's a good match between Ryback and Ziggler. Basically, Ryback's doing a bunch of power moves, and Ziggler just keeps dodging out of the way and hitting him like agile moves here or there. And then at the end of the match, of course, what did you think would happen? Dean Ambrose gets up, distracts Ziggler, causes Ziggler to get clotheslined by Ryback, and Ryback wins because of that.
All right.
Woohoo. Kofi Kingston versus Curtis Axel. Good match. Kofi looking in top form, and he goes over Curtis Axel. And this was very, I don't know if I want to say confusing, but basically it was like, damn, if Kofi Kingston can beat Curtis Axel that easily, CM Punk's going to beat his ass and
Paul Heyman's there also.
And Paul Heyman, is going to be one-on-one with CM Punk. What's going to happen?
Well, they're trying to say that maybe Brock will come back, but he's not.
Yeah, they're not going to waste an appearance.
They're saying that Brock. The rumors are Brock's coming back to like the Rumble.
Damn.
Which is pretty. I don't know how they're going to stretch out the CM Punk Heyman thing.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
Till then,
I don't know.
It's funny because CM Punk's like on his own universe now.
Yep.
He's not involved with the the main storyline.
Yeah, he's out of the title picture.
He's almost like the Undertaker from like the early '90s, where he had his own thing. He's like his own universe.
It's a main event, but it's like the separate main event from everything else.
He's not connected to like the other stuff.
Right. So there is. I do want to mention there is this segment during the show. It's a backstage segment, okay, and the backstage segment is AJ Lee going up to the other divas who are on the roster but aren't on Total Divas. So we're talking Layla, Oksana, and Alicia Fox.
Yes.
Basically, convincing them that it's completely unfair that the people who are on Total Divas are getting matches every week now. Basically saying it's just blatant promotion for the show. They don't deserve these matches. Why are we sitting in the back week after week doing nothing when they're out there performing? We need to do something about it. Okay? So this leads into the next segment of the night, which is Naomi versus Brie Bella in a singles match. And as they're wrestling, the four girls who I just mentioned, who have not been on TV, come out and beat the living shit out of them. Like brutal beatdown, ridiculous, just... And they're basically, it's like AJ has a stable now. AJ has a stable. The girls who aren't on Total Divas are now in her stable, and it's going to be the Total Divas girls against them coming up at some point.
Whoa.
I don't know. It's an interesting take.
A War Games match.
It's an interesting take, and honestly, I actually liked that more than I think any other plot line of WWE this week. It was actually interesting to me to see them do that.
Hey, if anything else, the Divas show got them on the show, back on the regular show.
Yeah, that's true.
That's good. Italia's on the show all the time now. I mean, that's good. So.
Yep. The Real Americans have a singles match with the Usos, and they beat them clean. And it's pretty weird because these guys have been going back and forth for months now. It's almost like they're in tag team limbo because the Shield is the tag team champions, but the Shield aren't even doing tag team matches now. So it's like they're in limbo. They don't have anything to do until they finally decide to do something with the tag team division again. Yeah. So in this case, the Real Americans go over. It was awesome because at the beginning of the match, it was Jack Swagger against one of the Usos. And he's on the outside of the ring, and he runs, and he clips the leg, like boom, like real hard. And the Uso did like a double flip and landed. And he got him, he goes, "We the people," and the whole crowd did it with him. They said, "We the people," all together. It was nuts. Like I was the loudest one I've ever heard. I was like, "Holy shit, they're still really over with that fucking angle." It was pretty nuts.
Where was the show taking place?
Oh shit, I don't remember.
All right, well that might have something to do.
It'll actually say, hold on. It'll say right here. It
might have something to do with it.
It was in Minneapolis.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Minneapolis.
What's going on up there?
Yeah. Big Show. So Big Show, as you know, he's been basically been used and abused by the McMahons for the past few weeks.
Big Show.
Vince, there's a backstage segment, not Vince, I'm sorry, Triple H talking to him. Now it's obvious Big Show's looking at him, he's so angry he just wants to punch him, right? He goes, "Listen, Big Show, I know you're upset, you have every right to be upset. We're going to let you let off some steam tonight. You have a singles match, a handicap match with three-man band." Okay? So Big Show goes out there and proceeds to basically destroy three-man band. He's tossing them all around, knock out punches, he does double choke slam, and that's it. It's just the end of the segment. Now, it's weird because then the main event of the night was going to be Daniel Bryan against a member of the Shield of his choosing. He gets to choose. But during the course of the night, Daniel Bryan came on. He's like, "I don't care. I could be any one of them, but you know the facts of the matter is it's not going to be a singles match. I'm going to be wrestling, and two of the other ones are going to be interfering, so I don't give a shit. Just whoever wants to fight me can fight me." Okay? So as Big Show is leaving the ring for his match for three-man band, the Shield comes out. And he turns around like he's going to fight the Shield. He's pissed at the Shield. Triple H comes out and says, "No, it's okay. Your match is over. Relax, come to the back." So once again, Big Show completely deflated, controlled by Triple H. And I almost get the feeling that at Night of Champions, this is going to be the night. And this is what I mean. Daniel Bryan can't do it by himself, so what's going to happen? Dolph Ziggler will come out and distract someone, fight the Shield. Big Show will come out and distract and everything.
They're probably not even going to do that yet. They're just going to have him keep getting beat down.
Yeah, you think it'll be
a
squash match this time?
It's going to go on forever. And one of the other problems with it is, like, every week he gets beat down. Well, Daniel Bryan never comes back the next week like he's ripping pissed.
Right.
He always just, "Here I am," walks out.
Oh, well.
Stands there while they rip him on the mic again. And it's like, that's what they do with John Cena all the time, too.
Right. Right.
That's not his fault.
I don't know.
And that's what John Cena would lose or something bad would happen to him. He walks out here, smiling and goofing up. But I'm done. I don't want to watch it. I mean, it's the McMahons are dominating the show. They're not fun to watch. They're old. They're in their 40s. Triple H is a part-time wrestler at best.
Yep.
He's not good.
The same rehashed shit.
It's rehashed stuff. They're millionaires. They don't need to be doing this. There's other guys that people want to see that people are excited about. I think it's shines the light on the company that they basically have no ideas.
Right.
And they're rehashing things. They haven't been able to build something important in all this time that they're doing something again with the same people. And it's going to lead to the same familiar place. Vince will come back. He'll be the face. One of them will become a face.
I changed my mind.
He'll represent somebody.
I'm calling it right now. I think they're going to bring back Shane. I do.
No, he's not. He's not. He's doing his own thing.
No, I think they're going to bring him back for this plotline. I really do, because all three McMahons have been heel, so I think that they'll bring back Shane just for this plotline.
One of the McMahons, whoever it's going to be, he'll be the face one. He'll represent the face, probably John Cena, and then the other McMahons will represent Randy Orton.
Stupid. Speaking of which, so the main event of the night, Daniel Bryan ends up being against Seth Rollins. And they put on a good match, but of course, constantly during the match, the Shield's interfering. The Shield's, behind the scenes, they're grabbing his foot, they're hitting him outside the ring when the ref's not looking. Finally, the end of the match, he does actually get a pin. He gets a pin on Seth Rollins, and then the Shield goes to attack him. He leaves the ring. So he's got away scot-free. He wins the match against the Shield, and he gets away scot-free. Goes to the top of the ramp. He's going, yes, yes, yes. Gets hit with the title. Randy Orton comes out, beats the crap out of him. So it's the same ending to the show. For the fourth straight show in a row, He's laid out.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton and the McMahons are triumphant.
And the only way it's going to work, like I said before, the only way it's going to work is if Triple H gets his. Because even if Daniel Bryan beats Orton for the title, Orton's not the main cog in the thing.
Right.
He's just a piece of it. So it's really got to be Triple H selling for Daniel Bryan at some point, or it's not going to work out. It's just going to be like, oh, you beat one of the Stooges.
Right.
All
right, so now I guess we'll talk a little bit about TNA this week. Next week is going to be their No Surrender event.
Is it Thursday or the week from Thursday?
I believe it's Thursday. I believe it's this Thursday.
It seems so fast from the last thing.
It is.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's like boom, boom, boom.
What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. So supposedly it's this Thursday coming up, No Surrender, okay? And so basically it's a bunch of build-up. First of all, Chris Sabin, who's been off TV for like weeks, don't ask me why. He was the champion, lost the title, and he's been off TV for weeks. He's finally back this week. He has a singles match against Nux, which I don't know why Mike Knox is now Nux.
You can't call him that.
Why? It's his real name.
I don't think so.
It's not? You don't think so? Oh, okay. So his name's Nux.
And I don't think he's ever had a match before.
Not a singles match.
He's been there for a long time.
He's got a match with Chris Sabin. Sabin's obviously, doing his thing. Nux gets handed a ball-peen hammer by Taz and goes to knock out Chris Sabin. Misses. He drops the hammer. Chris Sabin grabs the hammer, hits Nux in the head. The ref DQs Chris Sabin. Okay?
Yes.
So now Chris Sabin, they have this thing in the back where it's him and Vanilla. I called her Vanilla Sky again, John.
That's his actual girlfriend.
I know. Velvet Sky is his real life girlfriend, and this is the plot line now on the show too.
Yeah.
So they're backstage, and Velvet's trying to calm him down. He's like, "No, this is bullshit. This isn't fair. How did I get DQ'd? He brought the hammer into the ring. They're out of their minds. This is ridiculous nonsense."
Even though he used the hammer to win the title.
Right.
From Bully Ray.
So he's going nuts. He's like, flipping out, and Velvet can't calm him down. And the plot line is kind of like he's losing it. Like he's losing his composure, he's losing his cool, he's losing his mind. And I don't know where they're going to go with this, considering that it looks like he'll never get the title back. It looks like he's out of the title picture. That was just a flash in the pan thing. I don't even know why they bothered fucking doing it.
They thought maybe it would catch some lightning in a bottle kind of thing. Because going into that match, everyone was saying there's no way he's going to win, but then he did.
Right.
They thought maybe it would be a big thing, but no.
Stupid. There's a 12-man gauntlet match for the Bound for Glory Series finisher. This was announced last week that it'll be 20 points whoever wins this match. Okay. And it's a pretty good match, everyone hitting their spots, and it's pretty much exactly what you would expect it out of the match. You get the final four was Rude, AJ, Daniels, and I think it was Magnus. And then it ended up just being AJ and Daniels, which is good, the classic rivalry renewed. And AJ ends up winning. So now AJ is actually, I believe, after this match, he's in the lead. Like, he's the number one guy.
Yeah, the Bound for Glory series needs to be restructured. It almost should be like a tournament.
Yeah, I agree.
It seems so random.
It's just random matches.
Here,
right.
do this, do that. And, some guys have more matches than other guys.
Right.
Then there's the 20-point matches. And all of a sudden AJ was like fifth or sixth, and he goes to first. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It's not organized well. It's they make it up as they go, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And so AJ is now the number one guy in the series. Later on in the night, they allowed AJ to select his opponent next week on No Surrender. They're going to have the matches to determine
the two semifinal matches.
Right. And so AJ picks Austin Aries. He says, "You're the only guy who beat me in the whole series this year. And I want to be sure to get my revenge on you." And Aries said something awesome. I liked what he said.
Oh, he's excellent.
He goes, "AJ, though I only have one thing to say. Next week when we wrestle, no matter if you win or I win, there's going to be one clear winner, and it's the fans." And the crowd went nuts. They were like, "Yes, we love this. We want to see this match, because two great wrestlers." And it's like, I like that character where he's a tweener. He's all for himself, but he's not like a super dick. You know what I mean? He's not the super heel. He's kind of in the middle. I like that character for him.
Yeah.
And that's what he's been doing for a while now. So I really like that. And I like that he said that quote. Instead of saying, "I'm going to win, fuck you, you suck cock." Instead he's like, "No, the fans will win because this will be a good match no matter who wins."
My 40-something-year-old corporate executive is telling me that I will defeat you at this match.
Yes.
No, I mean, that'll be good match. The last match that was really good. This will be a good match as long as the TNA crazy booking doesn't get in the way of it. It'll be a fun one. So,
Okay.
That's what I love wrestling, was when you have two guys like that in the ring doing
Absolutely.
cool stuff.
Absolutely. Tag match. It's James Storm and what the fuck's his name?
Gunner,
yeah, against Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe, and surprisingly enough, Garrett and Wes win. They actually win this match, and it was a decent match. Of course, they're doing heelish stuff the whole match and cheating, and it ends up with, oh look, Taz handed Garrett a chain. He hits Gunner in the back of the head with the chain and gets the pin. So it's not legit, it's a heelish win, but I think they're building those two up. Maybe they're going to make a run for the tag titles, which would be freaking nice since no one's wrestled for the tag titles in like 4 months. Like, since they won the tag titles, who's wrestled them? Nobody. Nobody. I don't even remember a match, right? There hasn't been a match.
They fight Chavo and Hernandez?
No.
These guys aren't even around anymore.
No, they're not a team anymore. They haven't wrestled. They haven't defended the titles at all. All right, so then the main event of the night was Bully Ray against Sting in a no disqualification match.
Okay? Yeah.
So you know what's going to happen. I mean, it's no DQ. Duh. I wonder if there'll be crazy stuff going on. So first, Bully Ray, at one point, he pulls the corner out of the ring. He takes the
he did that
padding
at
off.
the pay-per-view where Sting lost the ability to have a title shot ever again. That's like the same thing happened.
Yes. So he does that, takes all that shit off. He teases like he's going to pile drive Sting. At one point, Aces and Eights come out and interfere, so that prompts the Main Event Mafia to come out and interfere. And there's big fighting, a big melee everywhere. And finally it culminates with Mr. Anderson. Now, Mr. Anderson lost the 12-man Battle Royal, obviously, earlier in the week. Earlier in the night. And the whole plot line the past several weeks has been that there's tension between Anderson and Bully Ray. Bully Ray brought in Tito, didn't do a vote in the club.
It's really dumb, though, because he got rid of, because Devon's gone.
Right.
And Bully was he's like, yeah, I don't care.
Right.
But then Anderson, all of a sudden, he's all upset.
Yeah,
because apparently he loves Devon all out of nowhere. Like, what? All of a sudden he's all upset with these little things, not the fact that they were hitting people with hammers, kidnapping people, and all that shit.
So Anderson's kind of being it's funny because it's kind of like the plot line. I swear to God, John, I know you haven't seen it. Sons of Anarchy. It's literally it's the same plot line. Okay.
Yeah. Again,
in Sons of Anarchy, here's what's going on in the show. Yeah. You've got the head of the motorcycle club he's all about the club, but if it's about saving his own ass, he cares about himself more than the club.
Yeah.
So he will screw over his club members to save himself. His VP is no, he's the righteous guy. He's all about the club, comes first. I will always stick up for the club. That's exactly what's been going on with the Aces and Eights.
That's fine, but you can't do it over a course of 1 week. Maybe at least maybe a month.
It was about two weeks, I think.
Oh my God! You won't like Devon?
Yeah, Anderson's pissed that Bully brought in Tito. He got rid of Devon.
Well, Devon lost the match, but he was like, I don't like him
I don't
anyway.
care. I don't care. He was always the weakest link.
Yeah.
And so Anderson all night, he gets basically yelled at by Bully. And Bully says, "Don't ever let me down again, or else you're out of the club. I can throw you out if I want." So it's the main event. And Anderson literally is standing there watching and does not help Bully Ray at all the whole match, even though it's no DQ. Okay, so it's the very end of the match, and Sting has him in the Scorpion Deathlock, and Bully's, oh my God, he can't get to the ropes. So Anderson pulls out the ball peen hammer again, the stupid fucking ball peen hammer, pulls it out again, and he goes, "Oh, you want this? You want this?" And he throws it all across the ring. He goes, "Oops." So then he taps out. Bully Ray taps out, which prompts Anderson to go into the ring, grabs the title, and he goes, I'm the number one contender.
Yeah, Hogan decided
that he would wrestle, right?
Well, he said someone from Aces and Eights will fight you for the title.
Right. And so it is Anderson. Anderson is now the number one contender, and next week at No Surrender, he will wrestle Bully Ray with literally almost no build-up whatsoever, no time for Anderson to even be face.
He will lose.
He's going to have this match against Bully Ray. Duh, I wonder who's going to win this match. You know what I mean? So, Anderson next week for the title against Bully Ray.
Aces and Eights, who's left? Knox, Briscoe, Bischoff, and Tito when he's there. Tito doesn't seem like it's all the time,
right?
So that's the
Bully Ray and his girlfriend Brooke Tessmacher.
Well, she's interesting when she comes out. I like looking at her and everything, but.
Oh, John, here we go.
I mean, that's your stable, really.
And just think about how much stronger this stable was a year ago.
It's going completely off the rails.
Yeah, all these people.
It's got to end at Bound for Glory, man.
Yeah.
AJ beat him, and then that's
it. Everyone,
just get rid of the thing. I mean,
they disseminate or whatever. Yeah,
it needs to stop.
Because I don't know how else they could go on with it. It's all newbies now, basically, and
well, it's basically a jobbers,
newbie jobbers,
unestablished guys,
and Bully Ray.
They have no history at all, really, with the fans or the reason for the fans to care about them or anything.
Right. So yeah, so that's what's going on with wrestling right now. Next week, obviously, we'll have a little bit more of a build-up to the Night of Champions pay-per-view. We'll see if, yet again, WWE puts out another week of identical content, or if they mix it up at all.
Oh, look, if you enjoy it. Watch the thing, be part of the universe. Watch the McMahons, and that's cool. If you like it, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
Wrong with you.
Send out tweets about Pound Raw. No, have nothing to do with...
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just saying, if you like it, watch it, enjoy it. It's
see
cool.
here.
Get into the storyline. But watching a 40-something-year-old dude who doesn't really wrestle be the focal point of a show, it's not for me. I'm not into it. But if you like it, watch it. Enjoy it. There you go. Tout it.
Very nice.
Yes. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for another tweet. I can't find one.
Tweets off the app?
All the tweets that are on there now are not in English. One was in like Czech, and this one's in Spanish, so I can't even read the tweets off the app that let you know another funny tweet.
Oh.
They're all in other languages.
I see.
All right. So that is it for this week's Smark, guys. I do want to give a little preview to next week. We will be simulating some of the matches of the Night of Champions pay-per-view. So definitely next week a new episode of Smart Guys, but also on the DSP Gaming channel and on my Twitch TV channel, Dark Side Phil, will be simulating those matches. More on that obviously next week, but that's coming up. Just want to hype that a little bit. And of course we'll have the lead up to Night of Champions. We'll also have the results of the No Surrender, whatever you want to call it. So a lot of stuff going on in wrestling this week, and we'll be back next week to talk all about it. So that's it for this week's Smart Guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Peace out.